the first story. The newest film in the Fast and Furious franchise, Furious 7, has already become the highest-grossing film in the history of Universal Studios, with over $1.15 billion at the worldwide box office. So it should come as no surprise that this week at CinemaCon in Las Vegas, Vin Diesel took to the stage to announce that another Fast and Furious movie is on its way and will hit AMC Theatres on April 14th, 2017, less than 2 years from now. John, were you surprised at all by Diesel's announcement?
A little bit surprised about how soon it's coming out, because the last comments I heard, even after the opening weekend was so big, right? I got the impression they never directly came out and said, we're going to wait till 2009. They never said that. I got the impression from their words that they might wait a little bit and then get things rolling again, take a bit of a breather, because, you know, filming and shooting Fast and Furious 7 was such an emotional experience for all of them, right? So I thought then they had to go back in production, get it all going, and now this worldwide tour and the huge success. I got the impression they wanted to take a breather. Clearly, no breather required. And with it being Universal, the #1 box office in the history of that company, it's understandable that they want to get the wheels in motion. To get this movie going as fast as possible, I get it. And to have Vin Diesel do it now, I knew it was going to happen. As soon as I heard Diesel say that they're doing Fast and Furious 8, I knew, okay, countdown to when the people who have no idea what they're talking about come out and start saying this is disrespectful to Paul Walker happens in 5, 4, 3, 2, and sure enough, there it starts popping up in the feeds. Like, John, don't you think this is disrespectful to Paul Walker? No, in any way, no. It's just the same way as saying, oh, the fact that they continued making Furious 7 was disrespectful. No, it wasn't. Look, you have I said this before, I'll say it again, and it is completely an applicable analogy. You have a big grocery store, a neighborhood-loved grocery store, and you have this guy named Fred who's a beloved produce manager in the grocery store. If Fred tragically passes away, guess what? You don't close down and close business in the grocery store. Life goes on. And you don't honor Paul Walker by shutting this franchise down, which defined his career, that he put his blood, sweat, and tears into, and saying, oh, Paul passed away? Shut the whole thing down. You think that's what Paul Walker would want? You think that's what his family wants? It's not. So from a business point of view, makes sense. From a talent point of view, thought they might wait a little bit just because they needed to catch their breath. And from a Paul Walker point of view, it totally makes sense. So overall, I like the decision. I like that they're moving ahead. And I like that it's coming in just 2 years from now. So anyway, Dennis, what do you think?
I enjoyed Furious 7. I thought it was a nice tribute and goodbye to Paul Walker.
Yeah.
And when it came out, a lot of people came up, asked me online, or some of my friends are like, do you think this is the last one?
No way.
You know, this is a perfect goodbye. Should they just end the series now? I'm like, no, because there's this thing called money
and success,
and people like this thing called money, and they like it quite a bit. So of course they're going to make another one, and they're going to strike while the iron's hot. So when he announced it in 2 years, I'm not surprised at all.
Amy Rose?
I love hearing little Ray's chuckles over there. I'm not surprised at all. I personally wish they would have waited a little bit, because first of all, am I the only person that when I hear $1 billion, I always think of Dr. Evil every time? It's been on tour for this. It's their family. This tragedy really brought them even closer together. That number is just outrageous for the kind of film that was produced. No offense. I think it was great for the genre, for everything, but it was absolutely outrageous as well. And they know that. And I do think it was the perfect ending to the franchise, but I never thought it would end. I just thought, the way they drove off, that tear, Wiz Khalifa song, it seriously gets me every time I hear it in the car, and I just fall apart. They really did handle it beautifully, but no one is shocked here. It does feel, because it's still making a lot of money at the box office, it feels a little premature. But again, Vin, we know that he doesn't always keep his mouth shut when he's excited. And so he just kind of exploded with joy. So I'm not surprised at all, but it'll be curious to see where they go from here.
I think Schnepp had it right. I think it's going to be Fast, Furious in space.